Yo, this is my review of the movie Bottoms. So I did a trailer reaction for Bottoms, and I knew that it was one that I wasn't going to see in theaters, but I did want to see it at some point. It is now on demand, and I was able to check it out. One thing that always struck me about movies that starring teenagers is how they always seem to manage to put in people in their mid-20s to late 30s playing teens. In this movie, most of the people involved did a pretty good job as portraying actual teenagers. Our main two stars, Rachel Sennott and Ao, were both 28 years old at the time of the release of the movie. But it's actually the love interest, Isabel and Brittany, to me. They both kind of had scenes in which they felt a bit older than just your normal teenage, late teenage person. So with those thoughts being out the way, let's talk about the movie in terms of what's good, what's bad, and what really stands out. What's great? What's great is that it's a comedy that's actually funny. As you watch it, you're gonna laugh pretty much from the beginning all the way to the end. Also, what's good? Your cast, all your characters. I just talked about, the main two celebrities as well as the love interest. There are no characters who are wasted in this film. I don't feel like there's a movie that wastes any lines. All your cast, everybody involved, anybody that gets on the screen delivers in their performance. What's bad about this movie? Well, first, I experienced secondhand embarrassment, right? So from the very outset of this movie, our main characters are put in situations that are incredibly embarrassing for them. So I cringed for the beginning portions of this movie. Now, that's not saying that the stuff isn't funny. It's just I felt bad for the characters, and that is the way it was written. You're supposed to feel sympathy for them, and I felt it, and it was uncomfortable. The other bad thing about this movie and why I wouldn't recommend it to a lot of people is just the fact that it's a very weird genre, but I like that genre. So personally, I enjoy it, but I can't necessarily say a lot of people would, or at least people I know. But let's really get into it without spoilers. What's worth talking about in relation to this movie? First, let's talk about the fact that it's funny and the genre that it's in is part of what makes it great for me. It's almost a spoof. It's borderline spoof movie. When you're watching it, it easily meshes with any other teenage movie. So the first thing I thought of was like Easy A and with Emma Stone. Like that was really good a long time ago. And this kind of felt like that. But certain things really made it like veer into that genre of being a spoof movie. And it was one of the things I noticed when I did my trailer reaction, the idea that our football players in this movie never took off football pads. Almost the entire film, the football players were easily identified because they were in full uniform in class, at the gym, at the fair. Everywhere you saw these guys, they were in football pads, and that was hilarious. And seeing little gags like that, along with the principal and the way the principal spoke, and the school announcements and the way that they spoke over the intercom, it veered it from just being a regular teenage type comedy into being a teenage comedy spoof movie, and it made me think of Not Another Teenage Movie with one starring like Chris Evans from a good while back now. But the other thing that's worthy of talking about, and again, what makes it veer into a whole nother realm of film, is the idea that one, it's intentionally cheesy, and it has this focus on the lesbian relationships and the teenage lesbian relationships, which, teenage relationships are very fantastical and extremely good and bad, and the emotions swing so quickly. With all that stuff being said, it made it veer into, again, almost spoof realms, and it made me think of the movie But I'm a Cheerleader from 1999. Really old, really niche. Like there's only a small group of people I think have watched that and identified that and can relate it to this and enjoy it. I don't see that being a movie with wide appeal, but I loved it. And I thought that was funny, and I think this is in the same realm as that. Another thing that's worth talking about, and really, really worth talking about, and that is Marshawn Lynch as Mr. G. Listen, that man is a national treasure. If you're a friend of the channel, you know I am a New Orleans Saints fan, and while I will never forgive Marshawn Lynch for the beast mode run that just ended our 2011 season, I gotta admit, I loved him in this. His facial expressions did a lot for his character in the moments when he didn't have dialogue. Over the course of the movie, his dialogue is very limited to me, but he does a lot with a little bit of lines that he's given. If you watch this movie and you really enjoyed Marshawn Lynch's character, you gotta stay through the credits. If you saw the trailers and you were intrigued and you give it a watch just based on Marshawn Lynch and you enjoyed it in the film, watch through the credits, because there's so many different little outtakes where he shows up and it's gut-busting laughs from his character, even in the outtakes as well as in the film. I thought this movie was good. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to people who like the weird movies that I kind of named, such as Not Another Teenage Movie, maybe Easy A, and definitely if you saw But I'm a Cheerleader from way back in the days and you enjoyed that, I'm 100% certain you'll probably watch this and enjoy it too. That's all we got for this one, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about Bottoms in the comment section if you choose to do so, and that's all we have. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.